Yes, to repair.
Repair.
Yes, growth and repair. Growth and repair of our body. Primarily cells. What else? What else are the reasons why we need to eat food?
To protect from viruses and bacteria.
Yes, so basically to build immune, maintain as in whatever function is going on, however, that needs to be maintained also. There is growth as in new cells are coming up, there is repair, but whatever cells are there, they have to continue with carrying on their responsibility. So that is maintenance, protection, yes, to build immunity, right, and to protect the body. Of course, majority of it goes to form energy. Good. Okay. So then we come to the components of food. So what are the components of food? Pragya?
Ma'am, components of food: carbohydrates,
Yes, I'm just writing it in short. Fats.
Vitamins and minerals.
Like dietary fibers, right?
Yes, roughage, fiber, dietary fiber, they are all the same. Okay, so these are the most important, yeah. So, under minerals we'll have the trace elements, right? So these are the important components of our food. Okay, now let's give, two examples each. Neha will give 2 examples of carbs. Pragya will give 2 examples of carbs. Okay.
So, I need to give examples of carbs.
Carb, protein, fat, vitamin at one go. Till mineral, give me two examples.
Okay, ma'am. Then like carbohydrates, rice and potato.
Okay.
Then protein, meat and like fish maybe. Fats of like meat, liver and all. We use liver, right?
Liver, yes, but liver will not have that much fat.
Okay.
If you're just mentioning meat, liver, then it's not that much fat. There could be other sources of rich fat, which is just fat.
Ma'am, like maybe butter and all.
Yes, correct. Butter and
Ghee.
Vitamin.
Vitamins, then like carrot would be having.
Vitamin C.
Yeah, then apple maybe.
Okay.
Maybe like spinach.
Okay, spinach.
Cabbage.
Spinach, cabbage. Okay, great. Okay. Fine, done. Thank you, Neha. Pragya, your turn. Carbohydrate.
Ma'am, in carbohydrates, sugar and roti.
Good. Okay.
In protein, milk and pulses. In fat, oil and cheese.
Good.
In vitamins, grapes and banana.
Good.
And in minerals,
sorry, I didn't get that. What
dairy
food?
foods. Dairy foods.
Dairy, you said, is it?
Yes, ma'am.
Dairy will not have minerals. Dairy will have more of protein. Dairy means milk, right? So milk and its sources will have protein.
Okay,
if you have to say minerals, it could be nuts, it could be green leafy, she'd actually said green leafy vegetables. So you could say, cauliflower, or maybe even for that matter, a few fruits would be very rich in minerals. Maybe you could say guava. Guava is rich in iron, which is in water. This is actually you really have to do a little bit of, if not memorizing, yeah, but initially it has to be memorizing, but later always see any orange color fruit will without mistake will have vitamin C. Any orange color fruit, vegetable, anything. And you get most of the orange color fruit during or vegetables during the winters. Most of the green colored fruits or vegetables will have a lot of minerals in it. Of course, it will have vitamins also, but mostly you can name them in case of minerals. Most of the white color food will have protein. Milk, curd, butter, ghee, yogurt, cheese. right? Okay, Yashika, 4 names for fiber. Examples.
Ma'am,
Hmm?
can I say saffron?
Can you say? I didn't hear that.
Saffron.
Saffron, but saffron, why? No, not really, because saffron lends its color to food. You know, all the biryani and the sweets that are being cooked, saffron lends its orange or yellowish orange color to food. It's not known for its fiber. Fiber means roughage. Fiber also means roughage.
Can I have it a try?
Let Yashika try. Maybe she, misunderstood the question.
Okay.
Dietary fiber. Yashika, it is dietary fiber or roughage.
Roughage.
Yes, fiber is roughage. Roughage is dietary fiber. Dietary fiber is dietary roughage. It's all the same.
I got a doubt.
Hmm.
You know, we have carrot and other sweets, right? Carrot
Huh.
goes under vitamins, and
Hmm.
all these sweets go on fats.
No, all sweets do not go under fats. We'll come to that later, Yashika. You're getting confused. See, it's not necessary. For example, if this is an orange, right? It's not necessary that orange has only vitamin C. Orange has vitamin C. Orange has vitamin B. Orange has certain minerals, but very little. Orange has water. Orange has dietary fiber. When we say milk, it does not means that milk only has protein in it. Milk has water, milk has roughage, milk has vitamin, milk has protein, milk has a little bit of dietary fiber, milk has carbohydrate, milk has fat. It's a complete food. Similarly, you can't just say that green leafy vegetables means just mineral. No, it also has vitamins, it also has water, it also has dietary fiber. So when we say dietary fiber, you can say guava, you can say spinach, anything that's mainly green. Sorry, spinach. You
Yeah,
can
ma'am.
you can say lettuce. You can say, for that matter, orange, because the pulp that we eat, right? You're supposed to eat that pulp so that it adds to the bulk of our food. We're not supposed to eat only the juice.
I found it.
Correct? Is that clear to all?
Ma'am, can I give an example that maybe you all want to think of
Hmm?
and dietary fibers?
Yeah, tell me.
Actually, like the fiber of the fruit basically the flower of the banana plant, we are
Yes,
having it. That is
it
the
has,
bread rich in.
correct. Correct. It has a lot of fiber in it. It has a lot of iron in it. Have you observed, Neha, the moment it's being cut, it turns brownish,
Yeah,
blackish.
ma'am, I have seen it.
That means it has got such high amount of minerals. It has got such high amount of iron in it. Anything which has got iron, if you cut it and keep it, for example, for 5 minutes, it will turn brownish black, like potato, guava, apple. That's the reason why they say that you should never have cut fruits. You should have the fruits fresh, as in cut it and immediately eat it. Don't keep it in open and then
Yeah,
have it.
ma'am, I have seen it. When we keep it open, it comes for in case of apple, it's a little bit brownish.
Hmm. That's the iron content which gets oxidized when it comes in contact with air. Okay, so now that we are done with components of food, we'll slowly go one by one with the components as in nutrients. Pragya, can you please read what are carbohydrates?
Yes, ma'am. Carbohydrates. Carbohydrates are organic compounds made of carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen. They include sugars, starches, and cellulose. They are formed in plants during photosynthesis. They are provided to they provide our body with energy.
Correct. So basically, carbohydrates, they're very simple organic compounds made out of carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen. Simple things. C, H, and O. And what is the scientific formula? It's C6H12O6. This is the scientific formula for glucose. Simply written. It just has these three components. Right? which are organic compounds. Matlab, this is very naturally available in nature and environment, right? The sugar, the starch, the cellulose. What is sugar? That we get in, maybe molasses or sugar cane juice. That's sugar. What is starch? The thing that we get from potato or beetroot or maybe sweet potato. And what is cellulose? That we get from green leafy vegetables. These are all come under carbohydrates, right? They are formed in plants through photosynthesis. So when photosynthesis happens, sugar or carbohydrate is formed. This is the food that the plants
Ma'am,
need.
actually, I would like to tell you something like sugar sweet, tastes like sweet. Starch and all kind of sweet, but an odd kind of taste.
Yeah.
Then what does cellulose taste?
Cellulose is tasteless. Cellulose does not have any taste. Cellulose, maybe certain cellulose like methi might be rather a little bitter. But
Ma'am, I'm not able to hear you. Like, what are the names you told?
I said cellulose will be tasteless.
Okay.
But there could be certain, thing like methi, fenugreek leaves, methi saag, that could rather be a little bitter,
Okay.
right? There could be neem, which could be a little bitter. That's also cellulose.
Neem is also cellulose.
Any kind of leaf is cellulose. Any leaf is cellulose. Leaf and stem will be cellulose. Okay. So sugars are the simplest form of carbohydrate. So when you're having glucon-D, what is glucon-D? Glucon-D is basically sugar in its simplest form.
Ma'am, what is glucon-D?
You don't know glucon-D, the energy drink that's available?
Actually, I don't drink that at all.
So basically glucose, fructose, maltose, these are all simple sugars. You find it in nature, right? Even here, there should be one more called sucrose.
Ma'am, actually, can I just rewind my memory about these glucose, fructose, and maltose?
See, fructose is something which you get in fruits.
Fruits.
Fruits are sweet like the apple or the orange juice. That's fruit. That's sweet. That basically has got fructose, which is a form of carbohydrate. Glucose, you get it in sugar cane. This is very readily available, right? Sucrose is basically what you get it in sugar cane, sugar and all those stuff. This is the simplest form, right? And maltose is something which you get in certain higher grades of fruits or vegetables, or maybe certain kinds of bread or certain kinds of cereals. So carbohydrate is found in different forms in different food, but the simplest form is glucose, which our body understands, which our cells understand, because ultimately, the bread that you eat, the bread is made out of starch. It breaks up into starch, right? Starch is basically carbohydrate. The starch basically breaks down into glucose. So glucose is what gets into the cells, because the cells need food, no, to function. All the trillion cells in your body need what? Food. Every cell needs food. And who supplies the food? The blood supplies the food. All the glucose goes to the blood, and then the blood supplies food to all the cells in our body, right from the brain cells to the eye cells, nose, feet, toes, hands, everywhere. That's the reason why you will see marathon runners or athletes, they have a lot of glucose or a glucon-D water. Why? Because it is readily available. They have it in the simplest form. They will not eat a bread or a pasta or a pizza. They will directly have glucose, so that immediately it goes to the cells and immediately they get energy to run.
Ma'am, actually, I think for patients and all, we give the glucose, which is
Yes.
in the hospital, because that is directly given to the blood, because it will have more absorption.
Correct. That is dextrose form. We all say in layman's language that, the patient has been given glucose because he's not able to eat or whatever. But that's actually dextrose, which is even more readily available at the cellular level. The cells understand this language and they absorb it quickly, and they help to recover.
Ma'am, I think like can you just say glucose is more like absorbed than fructose or
Yes.
maltose. Then
Yes.
after that, which is like more absorbed by
Dextrose. Dextrose.
dextrose.
Yeah, these are all simple sugars. These are all simple carbohydrates. You know, they're all simple sugars. All of them are readily available actually. But the most available one and, you know, easily available one is glucose.
Ma'am, I think cellulose is a complex, right?
Cellulose is complex. Anyway, cellulose we cannot digest, right?
What about starch?
Starch is also complex.
Okay.
Okay. Moving on to the next portion, starches. Neha, read this.
Okay, ma'am. Starches. Starches are complex carbohydrates formed from hundreds of sugar molecules. They do not taste sweet and are insoluble in water. During the process of digestion, these complex molecules are broken down into simple molecules of sugar by the action of enzymes. Cereals like wheat, rice, maize, and vegetables like potato and tapioca contain starch.
Correct. So basically, you know, here though they have said that it does not taste sweet, but starch is a little sweet. Not as sweet as sugar or fructose, but it is a little sweet. You know, it has an aftertaste of sweetness. If you eat a lot of potato, you know, you will get an aftertaste of sweetness, right? If you have beetroot, if you have carrot, they're all starch. You will
Ma'am,
get an
give
aftertaste.
one greater example like
Yes, ma'am.
even
Sometimes
rice.
some potatoes are like some potatoes are sweet.
Yes,
Like sometimes when we fry
Ma'am,
them,
actually, like
bombs.
rice and all, if we eat it a bit, like without putting any curry and all, we will feel the sweetness.
yeah, there's an aftertaste of sweetness, right? So it is a little sweet, right? Because we add salt to that, that's the reason why we don't get the sweet taste, but otherwise it's sweet, right? And it is a complex carbohydrate. Starch is a complex carbohydrate with hundreds of sugar molecules, right? Sugar here would mean glucose, hundreds of glucose molecules. Okay, so basically, as I said, when you're having bread is basically starch, which is complex. So that starch is broken down into simple sugars with the action of enzymes. So what are the enzymes? Who can tell me which enzyme breaks down starch?